Hey, this is JD of JD's Mancave, coming at you again tonight on a big old Saturday night. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is JD coming to you live on Saturday night, straight out of Houston, Texas, 7 o'clock Central Time here in Houston. And of course, you know that means it's time for JD's Man Cave. So I'm sitting here tonight, live in the Man Cave, relaxed and chilling. I'm going to end up doing this show tonight by myself. Unfortunately, my co-host, Reginald, is not going to be with me tonight. He has he's working. Put it like that, duty calls. And as a man, you got to stand up and take responsibility and complete what you signed up for. So he's at work tonight. And shout out to Big Rego. I look forward to seeing you next week and hollering at you later on, probably this evening. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do the Man Cave. Man, I enjoyed my Friday night, which was full of movie night. Is Friday night is movie night here in the Daniels house. And me and my wife make a point of sitting around eating junk food. We make do with whatever's in the kitchen. She made her special chili dogs last night. And we sat around and ate a couple of chili dogs and chips and drank Kool-Aid or whatever and watched a few movies. We always end up watching quite a few movies on Friday night. But that's just what we do to spend time together, laugh and joke and entertain each other as well as watch movies. So that was it last night, and then Saturday I had to get up this morning, of course, and take care of the duties around the house, go get the car fixed and stuff like that. But, it's just all in a day's work. But I also so glad that I afforded time where I could sit around and just kind of, be myself or deal with things that I like to deal with. I actually had an opportunity to sit up today and watch a Hampton University against Norfolk State game. They call that the Battle of the Bay. And, some 30 years ago, I was playing in the Battle of the Bay, as a Hampton University starting offensive lineman. I miss those days so much, but, time moves on. My time is gone. And it's just amazing to sit back and watch these young kids out here, with an opportunity to go to a prestigious black college such as Hampton and Norfolk State as well. These guys out there on a full scholarship, some of them wouldn't have been afforded the opportunity to play college football or to go to such a prestigious university. I myself was one of those kind of guys who grew up right here on Herschelwood in Houston, Texas. Anybody know the 8100 block of Herschelwood is hard to get up off of. So I was able, because of my sports ability and my academic ability, I was able and afforded a full scholarship to Hampton University, where I enjoyed 5 years of, as me and my partner, Big Reggie, would call it, not even real life. It was fantasy world, because we were taken care of. Everything was free. You had certain privileges. As we used to say on the football team, membership has its privileges. We were members of a prestigious black university, and we were members who actually participated in the wins and losses at Hampton. And because of that, we were afforded some luxuries, some not so real things. Like when you're at a school where everything is paid for. I mean, whatever you want, you just make, like I said, it's like you had a genie in a bottle. Just make a wish and boom, there it is. So I love being a college athlete. It gave me some quite a different type of exposure to just growing up right here on Herschel. You travel all over the place. You get on airplanes. You learn how to dress up and carry yourself as a student athlete. It shows you etiquette. Because like I said, you're on a plane every other week or on a bus, a private bus or whatever. You know, you have to represent your school, and it teaches you integrity, teaches you responsibility, and it teaches you ethics. And that is some things that you will have to carry all throughout your life. And we just, you know, should be thankful for that opportunity. I know I am. But you know, so many kids nowadays don't take advantage of the opportunities that are afforded to them. You know, they don't want any guidance from the older people in their lives. They figure they know everything. And let me tell you something, it's a fool that figures he knows everything. That's right. Even if you are a 52-year-old man such as myself, you don't know everything. You know, I've lived a lot of things, done a lot of things. And I would never tell anybody I know everything. Because as soon as you say you know everything, you're going to run into something you don't know nothing about. And there it is. And you'd have made a fool out of yourself by yourself. So, yeah, understand that, you know, you want to get and take the opportunity to learn every chance you get. So whether you're young, old, or 2 days from the grave, you want to still be learning. You know, and I just take pride in the fact that I'm one of those type of people who sits back and learn. I tell people all the time, I can learn something from a fool. I can learn how not to be a fool by not doing what they're doing. So you have to understand that there's always a learning opportunity. It's just a perspective that you have to look at it from. And you know, that's just how my day is gone. I got a chance to watch Hampton. Got a chance to watch a couple other Grambling. You know, a few other games on TV. I can watch those games on TV because I have a streaming device called a Fire Stick that I love to use. I watch everything, anything I want to watch on that. I have no earthly idea why people still have cable TV, but hey, to each his own. But yeah, today we're going to get started off by talking about, I touched on the subject last week about two-parent households, a man and a woman, how important they both are to one another in a household. Well, the thing is, there's going to be some things a child can get from the father and some things he can only get from his mother. And without those two dynamics being in place, there's going to be something in that child that lacks. I mean, whether you want to believe that or not, you know, I mean, you know, everybody has their right to their opinion, but that's my opinion. I think that's why God designed it for a man and a woman to have to get together to create a child. He also wants a man and a woman to stay together to rear a child. You know, it says, train a child in the way that he should go, and he won't depart. You know, so we have to understand that the training comes from the father as well as the mother. You know, there's so many single parents in our Black community, you know, whether it be a father raising kids by himself or a mother raising kids by herself. Because let's just be honest, so often we end up making a kid, but we can't stand each other enough to stay there and raise the kid. You know, that's just part of life, you know, and we all run into that hill. I was married straight out of college because our girlfriend at the time ended up being my first wife, was pregnant when we got home from college. So I tried to do the right thing. Stand up, step up, be responsible. Be a man of integrity. Take care of your responsibility. So I married her. Lo and behold, I'll never forget the conversation I had with my father before we got married. He said, he leaned over me one day and he said, now you know you ain't got to marry her. I said, no, Daddy, I understand what you're saying. He said, you can be a father from a distance. It ain't no big thing. I said, no, I want to do the right thing. So he said, all right, don't say I didn't tell you. Didn't warn you. He warned me. But you know, as they say, sometimes you got to step in there and see for yourself. So, you know, I got married early. I'm not going to say it was her fault. I'm not going to say it was my fault. It was our fault that it didn't last because I was too young to be a husband and she was too young to be a wife. We didn't really know each other well enough to be married to one another, living in the same house, trying to raise a kid, learning that on the go. You know, young parents, young people still wanting to do certain things that we felt like we had missed and didn't have an opportunity to do. I think I just got married too early and wasn't ready. for all the responsibility. I mean, I didn't have a problem working. I had a job at the time because she wasn't working. I sent her on. She went on back to school to finish her degree that she didn't finish because she was younger than I was. And you know, I was doing all the work. I had a job working 80 hours a week, 75 to 80 hours every week, no problem. Then I would also still sometimes, if I had some time on the weekend, I would pick up work here and there, you know, as a contractor. So working was not the problem. Bringing home the money was not the problem. It was just that, you know, she didn't understand if you got a man who's going to do everything, he can't be everywhere. I can't be home and at work at the same time. I can't spend time with you and try to get a check because spending time with you pays $0 an hour. But at work, I'm making $17, $15 to $17 an hour. You know, so I got to be at work because you know you learn to spend. So she didn't take that into consideration. So, you know, it just did not work out. You know, like I tell people, especially young couples, the biggest problem they have is finances. Because, you know, financially, you want something, she wants something. But y'all don't have the money for it. Next thing you know, y'all both sitting there arguing about it. And that's causing strife in the relationship. Any type of argument will cause strife. You just have to learn how to manage it. And as young people, you really don't know how to manage those type of problems that pop up in the relationship. Especially, add on top of that, you're raising a newborn baby who has daycare costs, transportation problems, all that, you know, just a lot of things for it. But hey, it took me 24 years before I ran into my wife that I have now, who was nothing but a blessing to my life. And the reason why I say that men and women need each other, we need to learn that, because I still stand by the fact that black women are the only ones who tell their daughters that you don't need a man for nothing. White culture doesn't do that. Hispanic cultures don't do that. Asian culture don't do that. The African culture doesn't do that. It's only the American blacks who tell their kids, their female children, you don't need a man for nothing. And I am here to really reiterate the fact that that's a bold-faced lie. You need a man, just like that man needs you as his woman. You know, we need to learn how to raise and rear our kids to be in relationship. We need to learn to teach kids how to be in a cohabitation type situation with a man or a woman, whichever one they're choosing to be with and make a family with. Because let me tell you something about me and my wife that I have now. I learned that I need her just as much as she needs me. Because there are going to be some days when you get up and you don't want to. There'll be some days when she get up and she don't want to. But the thing is, you will have her as a guide and a force to drive you to do what you need to do to succeed. And she'll also have you as such a thing. You know, she'll get up and be inspired by the fact that she has a husband who's trying to get it right and who's spending time with her. And, you know, me and my wife always talk about the fact that I am hers and she is mine as far as our own cheering section. You know, my wife does so many different things. She's an artist. She's a pastor of a church. She's a mother. She does everything. I mean, I've never been with a woman who does so many different things. And one thing I always tell her when she say, "You think I should do this?" I say, "Baby, I ain't never seen you try nothing and fail it. So if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do it." And I back her wholeheartedly. I put my money behind her. I put my mouth behind her. I put my hoorahs behind her. I push her as hard as I can. And sometimes she's had times when she wanted to give up on certain things. But me being her husband and knowing that that's only a momentary weakness, my job is to get behind her and push her. Even if I have to get in there and help her. You know, but the thing is, I always tell her, and she reiterates to me, she'll give me back my words. I always tell her, your dream is your dream, and nobody else is going to treat your dream the way you treat your dream. Sometimes you're going to wake up in the morning, and this is for everybody out there. You have to understand that sometimes you're going to wake up in the morning, and you're going to look down, and your dream going to be laying on the floor, fighting for his life. He's about to die. The thing is, that's your dream, and you got to keep it alive. Are you willing to get down on your knees and pump on your dream's chest and give it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, breathe life back into it? If you're not willing to do that, then you can rest assured that that wasn't your dream and you weren't really serious about it. Because let me tell you something, I have been in a situation where I wanted to get some things done, and every day the sun don't shine. You're going to have some difficulties, you're going to have some hills to climb, and some days you don't feel like it. But because that's really your dream, and especially if you got somebody behind you pushing you on and edging you on and helping you to climb those mountains, then you'll go ahead and get your momentum built back up so you can get back on cruise control. Because see, sometimes you want to quit. But one thing about it, you can assure one thing, you will never succeed if you quit. That's the one thing I can guarantee you. If you ever quit, you ain't gonna succeed at whatever that was. But see, so many people don't think about that. They figure, hey man, I got tired of this. I can't do it no more. You have to understand that wasn't truly your dream then. That wasn't your passion. Because your dream is your passion. It automatically becomes your passion. If you have a dream to own a car dealership, let's just say that, you're gonna do everything in your power that you can think of. You're gonna find people who own car dealerships, you're gonna talk to them, you're gonna do all your research, you're gonna be on the internet, you're gonna be looking for licenses, bonding, all of that different stuff to get your dealership off the ground. Financing, you're gonna be trying to find how to get finance for it, everything. But if it's not, as soon as you hit a bump, you're gonna be like, hey man, I on to the next thing. That's just how the human mind works, and how your inspiration works. That we got a lot of, the first thing we'll do is give up. But when that's your passion and you got somebody in your corner helping you and pushing you, you really make it past those give up days, and it ends up being success because you don't quit. But that's what happens when you have a spouse or a significant other who is really and truly made for you. See, so I don't ever think I can do this all by myself. There is no, I remember in high school and in middle school, they used to have a saying, no man is an island. That means you can't stand alone. God didn't design us, first of all, to be by ourselves. Even in the Garden of Eden, God looked down and saw Adam and said, hey man, it ain't good for man to be alone. So that's why he created Eve. He put Adam to sleep because he didn't need Adam's help, first of all. He wanted Adam out of his business. Then he took one of Adam's ribs and created the woman for Adam. Made us specifically designed for Adam, because not only was she designed for Adam, but she was designed from Adam. So that made her even more special and specific to Adam. So we have to look for that person who is specific to us and designed for us, that God made for us, because she's out there or he's out there. You just have to be willing and have enough discernment and wisdom and guidance from God to find that person and be content with that person when you find them. And like they say, every day the sun doesn't shine. You're going to have trials and tribulations. Y'all going to go through it. Me and my wife argue, and then we make up. We argue, then we make up. We argue, then we make up. But that's part of living life, because I compromise sometimes she compromises. But you have to have a give and take situation when you're dealing with any relationship. So, for me, it's just been quite a journey. Growing up and becoming a real man. I don't know what day it happened, what year it happened, but I can assure you that I am a grown man now, and I understand all of the grown men that came before me, and I watched them, my uncles, my father, my, coaches, my teachers, everything. Those were grown men. And at the time when I was a young man, I was watching them do things, and I really, really didn't understand it, why they did it the way that they did it. But as you get older, you realize ain't no quit, ain't no timeouts, ain't no timeouts from being a grown man. You got to be me and Reginald have talked several times before about a grown man is something you got to put on every day. You got to wear that every day. You can't put it on and take it off. Put it on and take it off. You know, some women run into these men who only want to be a grown man sometime in the bedroom or whatever. But when it comes to real grown man situations, they run to their mama, they run to their daddy, they run to another, you know, other gals or whatever to cope with the situation that's going on in y'all life. That is not a grown man. That is a grown little boy. You know, because a grown little boy will stand up and talk tough, and he'll stand at the gate and bark. But if the gate ever swing open, he's gonna take off running around the back. He ain't gonna fight. He got a lot of bark, but he ain't got no bite in it. You got to find your grown man that got bite in it. You know, I'll bark, but if you come through this gate, I'm gonna bite. I'm not running. I ain't, as you can see how big I am. I ain't never been fast. I ain't never been able to take off running. So I tell people all the time, I never could run, so I must can fight. So the best thing you can do is leave me alone. You know, because you look at a brother who ain't willing to take off running, you got to know he know how to fight. Yeah, so you might want to just leave him alone. And if he bark, then you know, y'all got to bark. That's what you do, and then walk off. That's cool too. Ain't nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. You know, I've had that happen several times in my life, and I thank God for the ability and the know-how to agree to disagree with somebody, because it kept me out of a lot of fights. Yeah, a lot of fights, arguments that could have turned into something nasty. I was able to walk away from it, and the thing about it is, a lot of people don't understand walking away sometimes ain't because you're scared. Walking away sometimes because you got good sense. You know, we see people that don't have good sense every morning on the news. You know, they could have walked away. They could have been home, relaxing, chilling, but they didn't have the sense enough to do that. They went ahead and stayed out there, and like they say, there's always warning before destruction, and sometimes they meet the ultimate destruction, which is losing your life in your own stupidity. So I just thank God for it. But yeah, like I said, I just think that there's a need for a man, there's a need for a woman, and there's a need to be with each other, because that is the grand design that God put together. He didn't put man here to be by himself. He didn't put no woman here to be by herself. You know, y'all holler about it, I'm a strong, independent woman. That may be true, but it takes two wholes to make a family. It don't take a half and a half. He got to be a whole man. You got to be a whole woman. And then y'all get together and make a whole family and learn to work with one another. You know, that's another thing. We have too many couples that are together that compete with each other. One thing about me and my wife, we ain't never in competition. Because I know one thing. If she win, I win. If I win, she wins. She know that. We got, you know, our bank account, I got a card, she got a card. So if I put more money in there, she got access to more money. If she put more money in there, I got access to more money. So there ain't no competition. So you have to understand that as couples and in a relationship, man and woman ain't got no business competing with each other. If you feel like you got a man that's competing with you and can't stand to see you succeed, then you are not with your husband. You are with the dude you chose. You are not with the man God designed for you. I'm just letting you know, hey, there's going to be some people mad at me, but I don't care. I'm telling you what God loves, and that's the truth. God hates a lie, and I do too. So I'm here to tell you that if you with a man or a woman, I'm going to tell men the same thing. If you with a woman who can't stand to see you succeed, then you with the wrong woman, period. You know, she don't want to see you in a new car. Why not? She don't want to see you with certain clothes on. Why not? She don't want to see you looking good, healthy. Why not? Yeah, why not? but then turn right around and expect you to support everything that she does. That's not how it works. You with the wrong person. No matter what, you got to be supportive of one another in a relationship. That is a hard lesson I had to learn. I learned it the hard way. So, I'm here to try to offer some young men an easy way, which is just listen to me and understand and put it in action in your own life. Try it out. We done tried everything else. You might as well try the truth. And I had to tell somebody, hey man, I forgot how to lie because I got so old I can't remember the lies. It used to be a day when I could tell 7 different women 7 lies and remember every last one of them. Now I can't tell a lie and remember it 10 minutes later. So I found out the best thing to do is just tell the truth. Because somebody asks you again, you just tell them the truth again. You never forget the truth. You can easily forget a lie because a lie is imagination and fairy tale. I don't remember all of the stories. I can't remember none of the stories I read when I was a kid. So, we have to just get there. So let's bring up another topic that I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about trust in a relationship and how crucial it is. Trust is a thing that's so easy to lose, but it's so hard to build. You spend years building a lifetime, and in a moment's time, you can lose all your trust. Your woman can lose all the trust in you. Your kids lose all their trust in you. Your parents lose the trust in you. It don't take but a hot second. But the thing is, most important to trust, you want somebody to trust you, be trustworthy, as they say. What do I mean by trustworthy? Trustworthy means you do exactly what you say you're going to do. If I tell you I ain't going to do it, then rest assured, I ain't going to do it. If I tell you I'm going to do it, rest assured, I'm going to bust my butt, break my neck to try to get it done. And if I can't get it done, I'm going to let you know I can't get it done and why I couldn't get it. So, that and trust comes only, being trustworthy comes with another integral component as well, having integrity. Integrity means you do the right thing even when ain't nobody watching. That's all integrity is. Ain't no other. I don't care what nobody say. All the fancy definitions you look up on Google and in the dictionary. Plain and simple in your life, you have to understand integrity is nothing but you do the right thing even when ain't nobody watching. Because we can all do the right thing when somebody watching. Let the police be standing behind you. I swear to God, you're going to put your seatbelt on. You're going to ride straight. You're going to put both hands on the steering wheel and all that. You're going to do the whole 9 yards. You're going to act like you're taking a driving school test. But if them laws ain't behind you, you laid back in the seat, no seatbelt on, got one arm up on the steering wheel, you cock back doing 80 in a 20. You driving like a bat out of hell, as they say, because ain't nobody watching. But like I said, integrity is simply doing the right thing when nobody's watching, and just being accountable for what you do. Like they say, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no, and that's just all there is to it. But that is what we have to have. Like if I've known some guys who have wives that they don't trust, and they've been with them for years. They don't trust their wife so much they can't even hardly go to work or stay at work. They calling her every 10 minutes on the phone, calling her, checking on her, wondering where she at. Now, if I got a woman where I got to check and see where she at every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes, that ain't my woman. I don't want her. I don't ever have to check behind my wife because I trust her. Now, I could be wrong for trusting. I don't know. But I got enough trust in the God that I serve, who gives me discernment as to bring things to the light in my life that aren't right, that I trust God first. Then I trust her. And I trust the God in her because I've seen the God in her work so often when she's dealing with other people as well as dealing with me. So that's where the ultimate trust has to come in. But let me tell you something. It's some people out there sleeping next to people that they don't trust, they don't like, they can't stand them, but they staying with them because it's a business arrangement or because they getting some type of what do my wife call it? A payoff. There's a payoff to it. So maybe he pays the car notes, the house note, everything, but she can't stand it. Is behind. Don't want to hate to see him come through the door. Look, almost like on Life when Claude and Ray come out of the barracks and the boss say, every morning I wait, y'all come out that barracks, y'all disappoint me. And they say, sorry, boss. They apologize because they still alive because he wanted them to die in their sleep. And he mad because they came out of there and they got to apologize for being alive. So I just, you just have to understand that there is just so much involved in a relationship. You have to trust that person that you're with. Because let me tell you something about trust and being in a relationship. My wife knows some things about me and has seen some things that I do or have done that could destroy you. And the same about me with her. But when you're really in love with somebody and you trust them with everything you got, you trust them with all of your information that could destroy you, but you trust them enough that they won't use it to do that. Now let that be a measuring guide as to how deep of a relationship you really in. I bet you some of y'all gonna start rethinking what you're doing. I see guys with lock codes on their phone. Women with lock codes on their phone. My thing is, I don't have nothing in my phone, and my wife say, let me see your phone. I just hand it to her. I asked her, let me see your phone. She just handed it to me. Because we don't really have no secrets like that. We trust each other enough to not have secrets like that. I've literally seen guys sleep with their phone up under. I said, what? You sleep on top of your phone? Yeah, man, that way she can't get it while I'm asleep. I said, what? Not only that, women are with men who they feel they got to sneak and get their phone. They be holding the man eye open, trying to open his phone, unlock his phone while he's sleeping. Man, let me tell you something. As the old people used to say in the country, that's just too much. That's too much. I ain't going with nobody or trying to live with nobody. I got to do all that for, man. I got to do all that. We ain't got no business together. What are we together for? We don't trust each other. I got too many people in the world that don't like me already, and I know it, to be laid up with somebody who don't like me or can't trust me or don't want to be with me. I don't need you. You can go on about your business and be happy, and I wish you the best. And let me go on and be happy and find the person who is really meant for me. Now, we spend too much time in our lives wasting time. Time is the one commodity, I can tell you this right now, you ain't going to get back. And let me tell you something. I wish at 52 I could still do the same thing that I did when I was 22. When I was 22 years old, like I used to tell my dad, hey man, when I was young, I could take off running, no stretch. I just take off. I told him at my age now, I don't know if I take off running, somebody pull a gun on me, man. You simply have to sit and talk about it. Look here, brother, what you got going on? You need me to buy you a bill? Let me holler at you. I got to use a different form to get away now. I got to talk you down off the building. Whereas back in the day, I could take off running zigzag. You can shoot all you want to. You ain't gonna hit me. I was too quick and too fast. I move out the way. But nowadays, we waste time with first of all, we waste time with unnecessary things in our lives. We do a lot of things in our lives that are unnecessary. Don't do us any good as far as reaching our goals. And as black men, we got to stop. That hanging on the corner with your homeboys, drinking and chilling, that is counterproductive to your life. And a lot of us, black men especially, take ourselves out of the game. We want to understand why we lose, why everything is against us. Hell, we against us. That's why. If you don't care about you, how you expect somebody else to care? If you sit up there and smoke dope, sit on the corner and drink wine and beer all day, don't want to go to work, you out there looking like you 50 and you ain't number 27. You know what I'm saying? You ruining your life. How you think somebody else gonna care about you and be concerned about your, you know, they always holler at, and that's what thing I always talked about when I first heard the slogan, Black Lives Matter. It may start mattering to white folks if it mattered to black folks. You know, we holler about Black Lives Matter and then go out and rob each other, shoot each other, kill each other, you know, run over each other drunk. You know, we out there just doing anything. And we holler about Black Lives Matter. How they matter? And we don't act like they matter in real life. We wear the t-shirt and everything, be standing out there fight on the corner with a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on. We fighting each other. Another black man. Are you serious? You look like a damn fool to them white folks. And hey, you look like a damn fool to me too. I'm just being honest. But see, we want to throw slogans out there, but we don't want to live our truth. No, when you got to live your truth, that's when you start being grown. That's just like me. I don't drink no more. I don't smoke no more. I don't do nothing no more other than work, take care of my household, take care of my wife. Anything I do for the kids, I help them with that. You know, that's called being a grown man. You know, and staying in the race. As my famous barber partner Gary Jenkins used to say, I'm still in the race. You know what I'm saying? But you take yourself out the race and put yourself on the sideline by going to the penitentiary, out there too high to find your way back home. A lot of nights, you go home and you beat up on your wife and talk crazy to your kids, beat on them and just destroy your whole household. You taking yourself out the game, baby. You know, you can't blame no white man for that. I want to know which white man's in charge of making you act a fool. You know, hey man, the white man keeping me down. The hell he is. The white man ain't got no time to keep you down. The white man trying to live himself. But you out there taking yourself out the game, and you want to blame the white folks for taking. I ain't working for no white man. Well, who you gonna work for? If you don't want to work for the white man, my suggestion is work for yourself. Find something that you're good at and start your own business. But see, we don't even have enough inspiration with that wine in our hand to start our own daggum business. We might know how to do something. We might be good at it too, real good. But we rather stand on the corner with everybody else that ain't trying to do nothing with their life and drink our dreams through the bottom of a bottle. Or smoke our dreams up through the end of a weed square, blunt, cigarettes, or whatever. You know, just hanging on the corner all day being counterproductive. They don't get nothing done. But hey, we always got to find some kind of excuse of why we can't get nothing done. Find some excuses of why you can't get something done. You know, because excuses don't mean nothing. You can't buy nothing with an excuse. You can't sell nothing with an excuse. So the thing is, we have to understand that we live in a commerce-driven society. And if you can't put no money on the table or money in your own pocket, then you took yourself out the game, baby. And if you don't want to be in the game, then quit getting in people's way. That's all I can tell you, because y'all will run up on a woman in a minute and ain't got 2 buffalo nickels in your pocket. And then want her to take care of you and your habit. That ain't how it works, black man. You got to get yourself together for your kids and whatever woman you told that lie to, and stand up straight, get yourself together, go get you a job, get yourself cleaned up, and go to work, brother, and be a provider and a protector, which is what man's natural purpose was. He was an overseer of the garden. He was a provider for Eve and a protector. So we have to be all of that in our own family. And you can't do that when you high, when you drunk every day, when you angry, when you disgruntled, when you what do they call it? Disappointed, when you clinically depressed, when you got so many other options, so many other attributes that come along that take you out of the game. You got to find help all of those and get rid of them. Drop them off. As baggage you don't have to carry. But we so often, carry that baggage into relationship after relationship, start family after family. And anywhere you leave a child, you left a family. You left a responsibility. So I just get tired of seeing it happen in our society. We just don't even we act like it's the norm. That's what gets me so mad about things that we act like the ignorance and the dysfunction that happens in Black society. We act like it's the norm, and it's not normal. And when somebody gets on Facebook or any other social media and start talking about the dysfunction in the Black community, we want to get combative so often. We want to get well, I do what I want to do, and yeah, you're right. You do what you want to do, but look, if you want to do that, then stay out the way. Stay out the damn way. Quit acting like you productive and you a good catch. And then when somebody catch you, they find out they cut you open, you rotting in the middle. Or you want like one of them more big old catfish, you cut it open, it's got worms all inside of it. You can't even eat it. You can't do nothing with it. But it looked good when you caught it on your hook. That's how some of these men and some of these women are out here. When somebody cuts you open and peel back your layers, they find out you rotten in the core because you have not done any of the work to remedy your dysfunction. But you stand there, well dressed, looking good. You make money. You do all kinds of stuff that look like. As they say, you look like. Look what Brown say. Look at you looking how you look. You look like you something good. But as soon as they get you home in a closed-in area and peel back one layer, they start smelling the smell. You start stinking. Your attitude stinks. Your drive stinks. Your ambition stinks. So we have to understand that if you are not going to be who quit making people fall in love with your representative. That's what I'm saying. That's the best way I can say it. We so often, but the thing is, people have to do the work and realize not to fall for the representative. Because that's the first thing you're going to see is the representative. Some of y'all get with somebody and be in love in a week. You ain't took time to see who this person is for real. How do they act when they ain't got no money? How do they act when they got money? How do they act when they mad? How do they act when they happy? You got to learn these people. Do your homework, I always tell people. But let me tell you something. Once you turn that paper in, you just gonna get a raise. You can't turn that paper in and just say, "Oh, I forgot to do number 6. I forgot to do number 7 through 8." No, we finna grade this. You turn your paper in, and when you turn that paper in talking about marriage and relationships, bro, you finna get the grade. Whatever grade you got, I don't care how much you studied, it's finna show. And there you go with your F and your D's. Some of y'all riding around and living with D's and F's right now. When you could have got you at least a C if you'd have done your homework. Even an A or B if you really did your homework. Yeah, so let's just understand that we got to quit placing blame on other folks for our shortcomings as Black men, as Black community. We so often want to say that such and such, I can't do this because of that. I can't get no good job because I got a felony record. Okay, I got a felony record. I know a bunch of brothers who got felony records who own their own companies right now, living in $180,000 home, $250,000 home, got their own company because nobody would get them a job. Guess what they did? They went ahead and made their own job and started their own company. Now they got people hired up under them. I know some brothers have been to the feds for 12 and 15 years and come home and start successful businesses. Because guess what? They had the drive and the ingenuity to get their stuff together. And while they were sitting in the penitentiary, they was coming up with a plan. See, we sit around and waste our time. When we got downtime and we unemployed, we want to sit at home and play PlayStation and drink up all that baby Capri Suns while they're at school and your gal at work. And you done dropped her off and now you in her car trying to figure out which gal you going to see on the side while she at work. That's counterproductive to having a family, man. but we so often do it. And don't act like we don't, because every one of y'all that's watching, if it ain't you, it's somebody you know. You know one of them cats. And we don't even sit and talk about that to each other because we feel like it'll hurt your feelings. Let me tell you something. If what I tell you it hurts your feelings, then me and you ain't friends for real, bro. If I can't tell you the truth about yourself and try to help you with some constructive criticism, then me and you ain't friends. I just know you. And the best thing for you to do is go on and be the fool by yourself. I'm cool. Me and you ain't gonna be hanging out that much. We ain't gonna talk that much. You know, and that's just all there to it. Because let me tell you something. I hate to see common sense leave the room. Usually when common sense leave the room, I go with it. I'll be right behind. So if you sitting there and me and you having a conversation and you ain't got no common sense, that means common sense has left the damn room and I'm finna leave with it. So that's just how it worked with me. I mean, you know, I can only hold a conversation and have a debate with somebody who at least is equal to me in mentality. Everybody else that I hold a conversation with and have a debate with, I'm teaching. And I hate to have to sit there and teach grown men every day. So if I got to teach you every time I see you, then I ain't going to see you that often. But that ain't what I'm here for. Now, I will offer you some advice if that's what you're looking for. But if I give you advice and you don't heed the advice, or I don't see anything from the advice I gave you, then that's the last time I'm going to give it to you. That's the last time I'm gonna give you some advice, bro. Because you don't want no advice. You don't want to solve your problem. You want to wallow in your problem. And let me tell you something. At a certain age, you gotta quit wallowing in your own problem. You know, pity is only good for little kids and women. It ain't good for men. I ain't gonna pity no man. I really ain't gonna pity no grown woman either. But you know, that's a whole nother story. But a man, bro, I ain't for the pity nothing. You tell me how something going on in your life, we gonna pray together. We gonna talk about it. We gonna come up with a solution. And I need to see you when you leave me putting that solution into effect. If you ain't gonna do that, then don't come back to me with that same problem. Now you can come back to me with a different problem, but not that same one. Especially if I see you ain't done nothing about that problem, then evidently you enjoying that problem. I remember one time when I was a young man and I used to come to my mother's house. Like I said, I was a young man. I used to come to my mother's house. My father would be here and we sit down and talk. I would tell him about the woman I was with and how I'm sick and tired and I'm ready to go. And my daddy, one day I came over here and said that. I think probably about the second or third time I did it. My daddy looked out the window, the front window right here at this house. And he looked out, he said, "Oh no, you ain't tired." I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "Ain't none of your stuff in your car." I said, "What?" He said, "Man, let me tell you something. When you get sick and tired of being over there with that woman, you gonna come over here with all your stuff in the car. And I'm gonna let you go right back there in that room and relax until you get yourself together. And you stay here until you get back on your feet." Say, until then, get your mind back in there and fight. You ain't through yet. He said, "Cause see what he was telling me was, cause when you through as a grown man, when you through, you through. You ain't sitting there teeter-tottering on the fence. You not already jumped over to the other side." He said, "When I see you come over here and you talking about you tired, and I look out there and all your stuff in your car, then I know you tired for real. But until then, hey man, get back in there and fight." He said, "If you like it, I love it. So handle your business." And he was telling the truth. You know, it was a hard way to tell somebody something, but that's just who my father was. My father was one of the kind of guys who didn't sugarcoat nothing. Because even if you put sugar on it, it still tastes like you know what. So he never put no sugar on it. He just gave it to me straight, raw and uncut, as they say. Like uncut dope. Ain't no baking soda, baby. All you getting is straight dope. Now, if you overdose on it, that's on you. But he gonna give you straight dope. That's just how it was, man. He never sugarcoated nothing, and I thank God for it. And I mean, I've heard some harsh statements in my life, but let me tell you something. All those harsh statements had learning, wisdom, and love in them when he gave them to me. Because all he ever wanted to see was the best for his kids, and I knew that by what he did as a man for his household. All he ever wanted was the best for his kid. But you know, sometimes he didn't know everything, and he never professed to know everything. But I tell you what, he did the best he could with what he knew how to do. And that's all you have to do as a man, is be the best you can be with what knowledge you have. And if you don't feel like you got enough knowledge, go back to school. I don't care if you're 13, 15, 50, 50, 52, whatever. Whatever age you at, if you feel like you need some more knowledge, you can always sign up for school, brother, and learn. Or either sit with some older guys and learn. Whatever it takes to figure it out, you got to be willing to do it. So often, like I said, we as black men, we just got to simply quit taking ourselves out the damn game. And then sit on the sideline and cry about you ain't even. You took yourself out of it. Coach ain't never took you out. God is the coach. And he ain't going to take you out the game until it's time for you to get out. But sometimes we take ourselves out the game and then sit on the sideline and complain. Man, you could have still been playing, man, if you was prepared, if you came to practice, if you weren't so tired from being drunk all night last night, you could still be in the game. But you too tired, you want to come sit over here on the bench. So go sit on the bench, get out the way. Let the real players play. That's what you got to do sometimes. And quit acting like you're a player when you're a fake, phony, and a fraud. You know, it's just ridiculous, man. And women, I like to apologize to you sometimes, because I know as being a barber for 20 some odd years, I know there's some fools out there. I've seen them. I cut their hair. I've said, if I wasn't cutting their hair, somebody else was cutting their hair, and I sat in the barbershop and listened to them talk. And I don't know how some of them get old, but you know, if you're a young fool, you tend to end up being an old fool. I was just blessed that I was a young fool who listened and didn't turn into a real old fool. You see what I'm saying? But I watched them guys sitting in the club at 65 and 70 years old, no, with a bottle sitting in front of them, trying to chase them young girls, and really need to be home with it, taking a nap. They already at the club, sitting at the table, taking a nap. I liken it to as I tell them old cats, you look like one of them dogs that chase them cars. You know, them dogs that chase them cars, if you catch it, you can't do nothing with it. You don't know how to drive it. What you chasing the damn car for? That same way I feel about them old cats chasing them young girls. What you chasing them for? If you catch it, you can't do nothing but buy something. You ain't in no shape to do nothing else for it. So quit chasing it. You can't drive it once you catch it. All you can do is burn up your little old retirement check and mess off your money. Okay. Sugar daddies are made every day. So yeah, this has been JD, man, or JD's Man Cave, and I hope I touched on some topics that some of y'all wanted to hear about and gave you a little information. And if nothing else, gave you a little pep talk to my young black brothers out there, or my older black brothers, that, hey, man, look, we got to get it together. We got to. There ain't no question about it. It ain't no, well, it's got to. I tell people all the time, got to is a bad summer gun. See, because when you got to, you have to. It got to be done. There ain't no way around it. Not, you know, it's different when you want to or you think you need to. But when you know you got to, or you're going to get up and get it done. So I'm telling you right now, as a black man who sees us every day, interacts with us all the time, on business, on fun, on entertainment, on all different levels I've dealt with us. We got to get it together, baby. So, hey, look here. This has been JD, or JD's Man Cave. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and hope y'all get something out of this situation. And feel free to text me during the week. You know, my number is 832-273-6504. Feel free to talk with me, text me if you have any concerns or any issues that you want me to talk about, or hit me up on Facebook at JD's Man Cave, or either on my page, James Daniel. Either one, I'm going to respond, baby, because I'm not running from nobody or no issues. So anyway, I'll see y'all next week, again at 7 o'clock. And again, this has been JD's Man Cave, and thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey, this is JD of JD's